is Alicia Fatma, and this tutorial is about how to draw realistic eye. The sketch that you are watching in the video is what I'm gonna draw in this tutorial. For learning how to draw realistic hair, you can visit the link in the drop box. This sketch is especially about how to draw realistic eye, not just eye but realistic eyes, because I have given a realistic touch in it. So let's get into this video. I have already made a outline. Now, for whenever I have to draw a portrait, I always start with the eye, and in the eye, I always start with the iris because it is the most, important part of an eye. If you did a mistake in this, then there are many chances that your sketch won't look very good. So, there's no hard and fast rule for the eye. There are no there's no such technique, because what you all have to do is to work with your reference, is to keep your reference in mind and then work on it. Here I have drawn diagonal lines from the edge, because you see the most part of the eye is like there's a black hole in a black circle in the in between, and there are edges. Like in my my eyes are jet black, but others eye are like they have brown shade, and they're like streaks of different gray and black lines in between. So to do this, you have to draw like I'm drawing in this sketch, and I'm giving highlight with the eraser. You can use white blending stumps or eraser or anything for giving the highlights. Now when I'm done with the interior part, I'm gonna draw a black circle that is there in between, which is very important. And but there's not much to do, you just have to draw black line, and then from that circle you have to draw other lines which are reaching to that the area which have you already drawn, because it's very important to show realism in it. You just don't have to separate two parts. Now when I'm done with the eye, I will draw the white vitreous region of the eye. So you see, I'm giving it a plain black, a little shaded, a little shade, because if I leave it just white, then it won't look very good. And I have smudged the edges of the eye, because I realized it while watching a mirror, while watching myself in the mirror, that the edges of our eye is like not a complete outline. It's smudged. So that's why since then I realized it. I always do this in my sketches. After doing this, I'll be drawing the other areas. I'll be giving fine details that are there in the eye, and in the end I'll be using a white jelly roll pen to give the final highlights to this eye. So you see this, the interior part of the eye is complete. Now I have to work on the on you see eyelids and the lower region of the eye. So firstly, whenever I draw something, whenever I am drawing a part of a face, I always give a baseline shade, and then I always give highlights. So like you see here, I give a baseline shade, and now I'm giving a darker shade to it. Because if you just jump to a darker shade, then it will be difficult for you in case you want to withdraw it. Now I am using a very dark pencil, and then smudging the edges, and then smudging the whole part with Q-tips. This is very important, because there is while we are working on a realistic artwork, there is always chances for giving there you always have to give fine details. So you saw I am giving very fine details here. There are no hard and fast rule as such, because you just have to stick to your reference. There are no technique, there are no particular technique. You have to stick to your reference or how you want to give it. Now when I'm done with the lower region of the eye, I am doing the upper lid. So you see, this is a fan art of Timothy Calamat, and he has double lids. So I am drawing it in that way. After doing that, I am giving the hooded region, in this in the those we have the like hooded region below our eyebrows, where our eyes are. So I'm just giving a shade to that area, so that it looks realistic. Now I'm giving shade to the outer region. I am just using normal pencils. I mean, six shade pencils, Faber Castell. You can see what materials I use in my Instagram highlight on my account, Fatima Alicia OT7. There are no like particular technique, you just have to stick to you. And I always use a mechanical pencil because mechanical pencil have sharp edges when you want to give fine details. If you use your normal pencil, you'll have to sharp it again and again. So for very fine details I use mechanical pencil, and for normal shading and baseline I use a non like wooden pencil. So you see I have given much of these highlights, and I'm still working on the highlights because these this artwork may be a very small artwork, but it consumes as much time as I would do in a A3 artwork, because there are many fine highlights, many fine details to cover up. And you see I'm giving details under the eye with the eraser, and then smudging it a little or giving fine details a little with the mechanical pencil, so to give a realistic eye. Now I'll be drawing eyelashes with it. It is very very important to give to draw eyelashes very carefully, because you have to draw it once, you can't do it over and over again. If I smudge a shade, I can withdraw it, I can erase it, and then I can give another shade, but not in the eyebrow. So you first draw it with a sharp light shade, and then jump on a very very dark shade which you want to give on a highlight. And then you can use a normal pencil to give proper shading. The book I'm using as a platform, as an elevated platform, is my book. I mean, I have written this book, but let's get back to the tutorial. So you see I have given the eyebrows too, I have given a shade to the eyebrows. Now you see the a particular eye is complete. All I have to do is complete the whole sketch. Now I have given the highlight with jelly roll pen. You see the white droplets which are visible in the eye, and of course on the eyelids and below the eye. I have given it while using a white jelly roll pen, which I often use for giving shades. Now I am sketching the eyebrows. For eyebrows you have to give a baseline, because you see if you will directly jump on a darker shade, then there would be a white region between the hairs. So first give a lighter region, so that the area behind your eyebrows, behind the eyebrow hair, will be also dark in color. So see I am giving a darker shade, not very dark shade, maybe 5B. I used 5B here, and then I will smudge it using a blender or tissue paper. I will lightly smudge it, not like completely smudge it out of the paper. I will just smudge it lightly, and then I will give another shade. I smudged it lightly. Now I am giving a darker shade, which will be the shade which will be visible on watching this sketch, which will be visible superficially. So here I am giving a darker shade on the eyebrows, because this I have given darker shade on the hooded area, and also on the below the eye, so I have to give darker shade. On Timothy Calamite eyes are so beautiful. I was really very mesmerized while sketching this. I'm not really a fan. I haven't watched any series or movies if he has, but and his eyes are really very beautiful. So you see I gave a hairy shade on the left side, on the right side, because his eyes were like that. So I'm just sticking to the reference. There are no hard and fast rule, there are no specific technique I'm using. I'm just using my pencil and just portraying what I have seen in my reference artwork. So you see my pencil, my one eye is almost complete. I'm just looking out for any specific details that I might have missed, and I'm just working on it. So you see my one eye is almost done here. You see the region, though you see we have drawn together how I draw this. Now I'll draw other eye and the nose and the skin region, which I have to do. So that's how I draw the second eye. And then I started working on its nose, the skin, which was very tedious part, because his skin was very patchy and with spots there. And so to give a realistic look, I have to work on that. I have to give proper realistic look to it, to give proper shade. But that's a story for another time to tell, how I draw this type of skin. So my sketch is complete. You see here the shade I have given. For more artwork, you can visit my Instagram account for sneak peeks to order a commission. You can visit my Instagram, that is Fatima Alisha OT7, FATIMA ALISHA OT7. And stay tuned and please subscribe to my channel.